Hi, and welcome to BoardgameNinja. We recently had a talk with Jay Cormier, who's the designer of Mind Management, this psychic espionage game based on the comic by Matt Kindt. If you've never played this game, you might want to check out the explainer video that we made earlier. Now, in this video, Jay will be sharing some of the tips for the rogue agents in the game. So without further ado, Jay, what's your first tip?
So first, the very first move I make, whenever I have all 4 of my agents available, the first thing I always look at, I might not move them, but the first thing I always look at is Henry and Bill. I always look at Henry and Bill first because I want to try to make sure I can prevent as many immortal recruits as possible with Henry. And so I want to make sure is he in a spot that's hurting you, that's preventing something. And if not, if he's not doing anything, I want to move him right away. So I'll use him to do whatever I can, with a few exceptions. If he's off in a corner and I know you're up there, I might save him because if everybody else is down here, that's the only time. But 95% of the time, I'm moving Henry first if he is not helping. If he's helping, then yeah, I'll leave him absolutely there if he's helping. And same with Bill, because Bill gets a free push. So I look around to see, oh, this guy, I can move him off of that thing that he's on. That's great. Like that's one more action the recruiter has to take, and that's a free action for me to push you off of a thing that you need. That's great. And if they're not on any of the things, can I push you in a spot where you can't even get to that feature with one move? That's awesome if I can with Bill's free move. That's tip number 1. Tip 2 would be shakedowns. I find are very powerful, especially if you have the new capture card out. You obviously have to do that. But I find some newer people at the game do it too early. And I would never do it if it's a pure guess. I would only do it if I had like a 1 in 3 chance of getting it or better. But some people just like, it could be this, but you have no real data. Like personally, my play styles, I really need data. I'm like, especially if you have a bit of path and it's like you went here and then you went over these things twice and these things. So I bet just one of these 2 things. That's using the information properly. But some people I see like on first turn doing a shakedown. And I'm like, what are you doing? That's just a waste of time. You got to get in the first stages. You got to get a lot of ask. And then as far as reveals go, I have played one game where I did 0 reveals. That was really magical. But I think it was on the app and there was some special thing going on in the app because there's some digital shift factors in there. But in the real game, I reveal maybe once a game. I might reveal twice, and that's only if I need directionality. If I can't infer directionality from what's going on. Sometimes you can based on how far things away. If there's a token here and you flip it up and it's a 3 and there's a token way over here, we're like, okay, obviously he had to be going that way because that's more than 2 spaces away. So obviously you're going that way. So I don't need a second reveal. So I'm very judicious with my reveal and shakedowns. I don't use them very often in my game. And that goes the same with Maru's power. The only time I'll use Maru's power personally is if I have 2 rogue agents at the start of my turn, if I can use Maru's power to reduce the chances of where you are. I know you're in one of 3 or 4 spots. I'm going to put Maru here and ask, are you in these spots? If you say yes, okay, I have a 50-50 chance to capture you because I know you're in one of these 2. If you say no, then you're over here. You're 50-50 chance over here. That's the only time I'll use Maru power to really, I know I already have a lot of information where you are. I just don't know exactly which way you went. Especially sometimes I can do that and narrow it down to 100%. If you're not here and then you're 100% you're here, then that's when I use it.
Right.
But I sometimes see people using that and just like, I don't know. I don't know what you can do with that information mid-game. It's hard to keep track of it with your mental note tokens to visualize that. And speaking of mental note tokens, I mean, this is a tip, but it's right in the rulebook. It says to do this, but I see so many people not doing it. And this is probably the biggest tip of all is to track as much as you can with your mental note tokens, which includes, and it seems silly at the beginning phases because there's nothing on the board. But when you get a no, I have not been on a subliminal billboard. Some people go, oh, damn. And they get kind of frustrated that that's a miss, that they didn't get anything. But oftentimes that's better than getting a hit. Oftentimes, not always, but often it's better because that's now 5 places they haven't been up to that point in time. So I definitely like to write an X with a 1 to 5. It says this right in the rule book, but so many people like skip it because they think it's not important. But trust me that once you start putting some nodes out there, coupled with a few hits, you can start to see, if you kind of look at it, like where they had to go. They had to go somewhere in this corridor because this is all, they couldn't have went this way. Oh, interesting. Like it really, really starts to identify the path they could have taken. The Black Ops Dolphin is a very tricky card to use correctly because it's just an absolute, it feels like an absolute waste when you get nothing. It is a waste when you get nothing. So it's the timing of that one. I don't really have a tip as far as when because it's situational. But also remember when you do use the Black Ops Dolphin, you're getting yeses and nos. So even if they've been to 1, that might have felt like a waste, but it's still not a waste because you get 1 yes and all 4 other ones are nos. So you can put a no on all the 4 other ones. So that's still useful. If you get a no, that's the worst time to use that. So that's hard. That's harsh.
Yeah.
If the recruiter moves an immortal and it doesn't help them get a feature, you've got to question why they're doing that. So are they there right now? Exactly there? Are they protecting that feature because they don't want it asked? Like, that's pretty interesting. The last tip. So how many recruits the recruiter found in any time span is information. And I don't see a lot of people using this as information. For example, if you get if the recruiter found 2 recruits between 6 and 7, and if at a certain point in the game you know exactly where 6 and 7 are, well then, of those 4 features, 2 of them are the features he's going for. So that's really good information. You know, as much as a recruiter can start to avoid those features once you start to figure out what they are, they're pretty darn motivated to go after those features because that helps them end the game faster, which it's hard to end the game on turn 16. That's a harder way to win than to win by features, right? Recruits.
Is it?
So, isn't it? Like, I don't know, 80-90% of the wins from a recruiter I've seen are from recruits, not from running out the track the time. So use the recruits. Like I said before about if there's 4 recruits in the first 5, that's huge information. Same if there's 3 recruits ever in a 2 span, that's huge information. I want to figure out where those two numbers are quick because 3 of those in that 2 are those 4 are that person's recruits. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
We want to thank Jay for sharing his tips with us. Don't forget to check out the interview that we had with him, in which he shares some of the secrets behind the game. If you have any questions or want to share some tips of your own, make sure you leave them in the comments. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you next time. Bye!